Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. This is Tuesday, but I'm actually probably going to post this on Wednesday. I just filmed the video of the PSA reveal of my $18 per order card. Oliver and I split that order. And one of the cards was a Larry Bird Magic Johnson rookie with Dr. J 1980 Topps. And I wanted to do a separate video on this just because of the work that went into this card for science, of course. And it's fun. So what happened was we graded this card 6 or 7 months ago with SGC, came back as a 3. And it's got these black specks on it, part of the surface, which is a frequent problem with the 1980 Topps. And so we were a little disappointed in the 3, and Oliver said, well, you're sending an order off to CSG. Why don't I crack this and see what it grades with CSG? So I said, sure, no problem, let's do that. And it came back from CSG a 3.5. So a little bit of improvement. And then he said, what if we crack it again and send it to PSA? And I said, I don't know, has that ever been done? An SGC to CSG to PSA crossover, or in any order of those 3. We looked on YouTube, on Google, we couldn't find any instance of a crossover like this. So we thought it would be interesting to a lot of people, the differences in the grades. So I'm going to show you the card, and then we're going to get into the differences in the values from each of these graders. And maybe a little bit about what the differences are between the cards, but I'm not an expert in condition of cards. I'm actually pretty bad at it. So, all right, here's the card. As I said, SGC 3, CSG 3.5, and now PSA 4. And this is the first Oliver is seeing it right with you guys right now. It's a PSA 4. He didn't want me to tell him until the video got released, so I hope he's really happy with this, and I'm going to explain why he should be. Actually, if you look closely, you can see the black specks on the card, like on the edges here and in between. And I suspect that's what they see, and that's what they knock it down by. The corners are spectacular on this card. The centering is very good. The back centering is not great, as you can see up top there. But overall, it's a beautiful card. So what's the difference? SGC 3, there have been 3 graded recently. 3 sold recently on eBay. The average of those was $447. So not bad. That's a really nice value, $447. There have been 0 SGC 3.5s sold recently. There have been 0 CSG 4s and 0 CSG 4.5s sold recently. There has been a few 5s, but none of them were recent. There were, the average of those 5s was $690. So we're talking a full point and a half, full grade and a half above what ours graded at, Oliver's graded at 3.5, is selling for $690. So you got to think that the 3.5 is probably, I don't know, $400 to $450. I really don't know though. Again, I'm not a value expert either. So the PSA 4 though, remember SGC 3 was $447 on average. PSA 4, there's a much bigger market. In the last 6 weeks, so I tried to look at just the ones since the market started to soften. In the last 6 weeks, there have been 5 sales. The average was $672. That's 50% more than the value at SGC 3. So pretty good investment from Oliver there at, I think, $18 per card. He increased his card value by 50%. So not bad. The market, of course, for a PSA card is much better. There's many more people trying to buy PSA cards. So the fact that it got a better grade with PSA and there's a better market for it is a huge win. So should you buy CSG cards at lower grades? Maybe those old green labels that have off-center grades have a lower value. But it's a risk. It's a big risk. And Oliver was willing to do it, and it paid off handsomely. But I wouldn't... I might do it. I think it would be an interesting thing to buy some cheap old CSG slabs and try to cross them. And Oliver did that with the $18. So a lot of these cards that he got PSA 7s and 8s in were CSG 9s. Actually, one of them was an HGA 9 that crossed at a 7. I forgot to mention that in the video. So HGA graded a card a 9, PSA graded it a 7. It's one card. It's impossible to come up with a full assessment of HGA's grading compared to PSA's based on one card, but that's a big difference. So that's all I've got. I'm really curious what you think about this. I think that this was a really fun, interesting experiment, and it panned out. It really worked out for Oliver, so I'm really happy with it. It is November now. I'll be going to a card show in 2.5 weeks in Augusta, Maine. I've got a bunch of other card stuff. I'm sending some stuff off to PSA DNA. Probably going to send off another order to PSA. Now that, they just reduced their bulk price to $15 for modern, 1996 and sooner, I think. So I'll probably send off a bunch of modern cards to get those graded to sell them, not to PC them. All right, let me know in comments. Thanks very much for watching.